Hi, my name is Jenny, and this is Bisaya in America. So, the topic for today is about UFOs. I know it's like tinfoil hat moment, but it's not that crazy anymore. Even the US government has given evidence that there's something that's not explained or cannot be explained, but I was fascinated because as a kid, my grandmother had a book and she read a lot of Reader's Digest. And for some reason, part of the Reader's Digest, they had like ancient mysteries and myths and fables and whatever. There was this book about like just mysteries. And I think my dad was into it too because we had like pocketbooks. This was before ebooks, of course. We had books about, alien abduction, UFO witness accounts and stuff. So the thing is, so I grew up and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I like it. But in my head, I was just like, yeah, this is entertaining. This is fun. It may or may not be true, but who knows? But the thing is, reading the reader's accounts, and there were multiple, over dozens, if not thousands of people with the same account, like it's cigar-shaped, saucer-like shape, rod-shaped, or whatever, and it's the same thing. The thing is, if witness accounts are permissible in court, like in all laws on planet Earth, when you have a witness, an eyewitness, we take that into account when we have, a crime or something that, in a trial, the eyewitness account is credible. Not really credible, but it is admissible in court. So that's my question. People have been seeing the same type of things, and it's multiple accounts, maybe even if you don't believe it, like let's say abduction and like the saucers in the sky, unexplained phenomena, lights. The thing is, a lot of these people actually like they're what they witnessed, other people have witnessed as well, and it's around the same thing, like it's similar. And let's just say that we remove half of it, we're still left with maybe thousands of eyewitness accounts, and some of them, in court as well, the CCTV cameras, videos, they're admissible in court as well. And we see some of them are fake, of course, but then there's others that like you can't really like discount them because they're there, and then they're like, oh, that's unusual. And yeah, I actually lived in New Mexico for a year, and I did witness something that I couldn't explain. I was in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I was just walking my dog, and I mentioned it in another episode of my podcast. It was walking my dog, and then I saw something. I thought they were flares, they were like reddish orange things, objects in the sky, and I think 3 of them from what I can see from my vantage point. And the thing is like, oh, that's so cool. What is that? Could be drones or whatever. But they started creating this formation in the sky that was like triangular, and then like if they were flares, they would not line up like that, because flares, you can't control how they go down, the descent is different, and then they just lined up. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe drones or something. But the thing is, I didn't hear anything in the sky. There were no sounds in the sky. The drones, you could possibly like hear like brrr or something like that. I didn't hear anything. And if it was helicopters, they were too close to be making that formation. And so what happened, and I was in a video, like I was with my dad or my sister, I was walking my dogs, talking to someone, back home, and by back home I mean the Philippines. And anyway, I was talking to someone, and I was like, oh, what is that? And I forgot to turn the camera the other way, and not that they can see too, because it was like quite a distance from the sky and it would be really grainy, but it never crossed my mind. I was like, oh, and that's unusual. And then I just stopped what I was doing. I said, I see something in the sky. Okay, bye. Bye now. I'm just gonna concentrate. And it like before it disappeared, it made a formation, like a triangular formation in the sky, and then it flashed really brightly, like so bright, like maybe 10 times its original glow. It was reddish oranges or orange type, and then it puffed up like increased in intensity, and then boom, it disappeared, like just like that. And the unusual thing is my dogs didn't bark. It's like they didn't notice. And so I went on this website, I was like, oh my God, I have to report this. Who do I call? Or maybe and I found this website, and I do still have the screenshot, and I gotta find that screenshot. It's in I never delete stuff. I rarely delete stuff, maybe if I run out of space, but I didn't delete this. I have a screenshot somewhere in my messenger and in my internet, in my phone, my email. Anyway, I saw this website, and it's like, report whatever you saw. And then I'm like watching, like I read like what other people had witnessed, and then they were like, oh, okay, it's similar. And then so I posted it. I think it was sometime in September 2019. I forgot if it was the first part of September. That's all I can remember. I've been around a lot, and plus 2020, that really messed me up. Anyway, and what do you call that? So I posted what I witnessed, and I just, came back like every day, and like maybe someone saying, like, I don't know, maybe someone's gonna comment or something. And I did see someone in Las Cruces. Someone posted the same thing, and around the same time, it was around 9 in the evening, and same thing, like reddish orangish glow in the sky, made a formation, like triangular formation. I think that guy, I don't know if he's a guy or a girl, I assume it's a guy, anyway, posted that he saw 4, and I saw like around 3. And I did see it at the latter part of 9 o'clock. He saw it at the first part of 9 o'clock, and he might be in a different part of Las Cruces, but same location and around the same time and the same day, and posted the same thing. And I'm like, okay, that corroborates what I saw. I wasn't hallucinating or anything. And I'm pretty with it because I meditate, and that takes a lot of focus. Not really focus, but dedication and stuff. But so I know that I'm not, and I wasn't hallucinating. I know that I was pretty with it, and yeah, and so that's my thing. That's not the first time that happened to me. So I was in upstate New York before, when I first came to America. It was around 2013. I think it was in either December or January. It was freezing cold, and since I didn't have a car, I would walk back home and stuff. And in winter, it gets really cold, and it gets really dark really early. But I would still go home at 6 o'clock and stuff, finish my documentation. I'm like a healthcare worker. Anyway, I would just walk like a mile to my apartment, and I did see, you can see the stars. It's nice. I did see like what seemed like a falling star or a shooting star or whatever. Anyway, and then I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I saw a shooting star. Maybe I should make a wish, like superstitious belief. But this thing slowed down, and then it ricocheted, it went back up, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's an unusual falling star. I have never seen a falling star or a shooting star, whatever you call it, meteorite, um, whatever you guys like to call it, shoot, like drop from the sky and then ricochet. It literally, like, it almost like slowed down and then ricocheted back up. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's a bouncing shooting star. So I thought nothing of it. I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. I saw something unusual. I'm going to remember and stuff. But I didn't really write it down. But I know it was in upstate New York around December, January. Freezing cold. So I wasn't really focusing on that. But yeah, I've witnessed two phenomenons. And yeah, so that's the thing is, if we accept eyewitness accounts in court, they're admissible in court. And if we accept video, unless they're doctored, of course, but it's pretty hard to doctor, like the VHS and stuff. Yeah, if we have that and it's admissible in court as evidence, why are we not, admitting it? And the thing too, the eyewitness accounts talking about the same exact thing. If you don't believe in abduction or something, it's kind of weird that they see around the same exact thing. There's just a slight difference, but around the same thing. And it's either those thousands of people and people like me are lying, or we just got to accept the truth. And for me, I'm very open-minded. I don't think we're alone in the universe. Of course not. It's so aloof and so arrogant of human beings to think that we're the only intelligent ones on the planet, or not just the planet, but the universe, the solar system. Because universe is so vast, and the creator, the universe, the creative force, the source energy, whatever you would like to call that, powerful ultra being, or not even a being, consciousness or whatever, has the capacity to create universes. Of course, we're not going to be the only one. There's billions, trillions of life forms, different type of life forms on this planet. Insects, they number in the billions. Human beings, we're 7 billion now. I think we're 7 billion, are we? Or I think we're 8 billion. I forgot. I think we're almost 8 billion. Anyway, yeah. So, and then there's animal creatures in the water, creatures in the air. So many variations. So much. Lots varieties and stuff. And so we are not the only living beings in the universe, for sure. We are not, because if we have so much diversity in just one planet, can you imagine? And just because we haven't seen it in our solar system, it's probably there. We just don't have the instruments to measure it, because our concept of life is based on, carbon-based life form. Maybe there's a different type of life form based on, other elements and stuff. And we are not the only ones here. And to assume that we are, the most intelligent beings on, this solar system or this galaxy or whatever, is pure arrogance, because we are not that intelligent. In fact, human beings, and we have shown throughout history, we are more animal than human beings. We are more us. We are called Homo sapiens, but we are not as sentient and aware as we would like to think, because a lot of the people, maybe even more than half, they have violent tendencies. They cannot control their animal nature, and they're even worse than animals, because they cannot think. And with everything that's going on right now, people believing in fake news, conspiracy theories with no proof, no evidence, no use of their frontal cortex, their um, their brains. It's just for me. It's like, yeah, we're not that intelligent. We're arrogant to think that we are intelligent because we are not. There's more animalistic nature in us than the intelligent uh, nature. So that's what I'm saying. But anyway, back to Skinwalker Ranch. So it is, you gotta watch it. It's on Netflix. I think it was on History Channel. I may be wrong, but yeah, I saw like over the years. I think this was in 2019. I don't know when they filmed this thing, but it's on Netflix and the entire like season is there. It's really very gripping, and I watched it last night and I just fell asleep and then I watched it again when I was awake, and I I fast forwarded, rewound, or whatever you would call that, the series, and I was like, oh my god, this is so interesting. And it really is interesting, and it may seem like, because even if we do have the evidence, and then that can finally verify that we're not the only higher life form on this planet. We have visitors for sure, but even if we do have the evidence for that, I'm half of the people, if not majority of the people, want to put their head in the sand and not believe it at all, because they're like, oh, that's too weird. Yeah, and yet we have flat earthers, and yet we have people that believe in conspiracy theories. So I'm just saying that, yeah, do check it out. It's very interesting. And then there's scientists there, and then they're every bit as baffled as we are. It is very engaging, and it's like, I was at the edge of my seat. And one scene there was about this cow that like saw an object in the sky, mysterious object in the sky, and then it died a few hours later, or it might have died at that moment it saw it. I don't know. Anyway, it was pretty creepy, and then they were like, that place was radioactive and it was just weird. Might be, I don't know, maybe their laboratory, their collection site, or who knows what it is. But it does make for interesting TV, I must say. And yeah, I am hoping for season 2. I'm gonna look it up if there is a season 2, but makes me want to go there. But based on what they said, there's like radiation there. Maybe not such a good idea to visit the place. Anyway, it's private, and I don't think you're supposed to be there, but yeah, it's very, very interesting. Anyway, I went to Roswell in 2019. Just did the tour. It was really eye-opening that how credible the eyewitness accounts were, and then they just made it into this like woo-woo thing that's like, oh, that's crazy, but the eyewitness accounts were pretty credible, and we all know that the government doesn't want the rest of humanity to know about it, because it does disrupt. I must say, though, I mean, it does disrupt economies, and it puts you at the edge of your seat. It's like, oh, what are the visitors doing here? What's their agenda? So, yeah, so I can understand why people want to put their head in the sand, because it is a little unnerving, but at the same time, nothing has really happened that is very like that really disrupts the flow of life. Like, everybody's still alive and we're still going on as usual, and I think there should be like maybe acceptance that they're just going to be there, and we unfortunately don't have the technology to work with them, I guess. So I don't know. It is unnerving, and I do agree that we still need to accept it, that it's there. But as to what our next step is, I don't think the human beings are equipped to deal with such matters. I mean, like, what do? We cannot fight beings that are more intelligent than we are, have more like resources and have advanced technology. So I guess we just gotta live our lives, I guess. So until like the status quo is affected. So hopefully not. But yeah, it does make you think. And I still do wish, though, yeah, they can do their own thing, maybe in secret, away from, you know, the general population. They can do that. But I just hope they're benign creatures and that they are harmless. Who knows? But yeah, it is creepy if you think about it. It's kind of scary. And at the same time, I can understand that the government, why they need to put this under wraps, because like, yeah, if you don't, like, you are going, like, it's gonna be mass hysteria for sure. And yeah, I think that we should still live on with our lives, because like, there's really nothing we can do at this point. We are not equipped, and we literally we are powerless against something that is bigger and greater than us, for sure. In terms of technology and intelligence and advancement and stuff. But I do hope, though, that, when things become like really scary on this planet, like, the nuclear option becomes an actual option, I hope that those intelligent beings will interrupt or intervene, because we still want to have a planet. It just goes to prove that human beings are not very bright, because we have weapons of mass death and destruction. And what are we doing with it? Like, we shouldn't destroy this planet. For what? For politics? So anyway, do check it out. It's called Skinwalker Ranch. It's about the cattle mutilations, and it's a reality show, and it's pretty fun to watch, but the implications are unnerving. And yeah, it's just watch it if you're into those things. But if you're not into those things, certainly don't poo-poo people that are into those things, because like, it is pretty credible if you think about it. The eyewitness accounts, and over the years, not just over the years, decades, if not more, centuries probably. Anyway, that's just my opinion on it. And anyway, if you want to email me, if you experience like a weird, strange phenomenon in the sky, email me at homeofgenie@gmail.com with the headline, "Yes, I have witnessed something weird and I want to talk about it." Anyway, thank you, and thanks for listening.